I'm gonna look at this and I'm gonna go. I don't know if we're live yet. I think we're live now, though. Yep, definitely live now.
And thus the tradition holds.
Indeed.
So, the next episode of the Yesrallaw Odyssey has begun, whereby we see our party of intrepid adventurers and other people making their way through the continent of Stradivania, slaying creatures and other people. Who would like to give us a nice, comprehensive recap of the last couple of episodes, including Ez's special, where he was the one who ran the game for a turn?
Any takers?
We went to a party. It was fun. A wizard didn't give someone a tax break.
That's evil.
That was somewhat summing up and missing some important things, especially from last week's, because last week's I seem to remember Grace going around threatening hippies and generally terrifying perfume makers.
Did we start?
Yes.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello, Theo. Welcome to the stream.
Thank you.
I assure you, I would have only threatened them if they'd done something wrong.
In your eyes, they did something wrong.
Exactly. Terrifying.
I'm pretty sure in Kiki's eyes, they didn't do something wrong. They just were.
If they've done nothing wrong, they've got nothing to fear.
Remember that, Jace, for the next time when you go being on her wrong side.
Yeah. Literally nearly cut the hands off some poor sod who was just trying to bribe us.
No. Sweeten the deal, not bribe.
Yes, quite.
Good God, that very, very nearly turned into... Oh, badly timed yawn. Very nearly turned into something very, very bad.
Yes.
But you managed to turn it all around, and from what I could tell, it seems as though the village of Lavendale has not disowned your entire party.
Now, I have a question. Did they recognize that I was there amongst them? And has anything come of that? I'm assuming as we're now wandering out from the village, I got away with being loud and noisy in town again.
You haven't yet managed to make your way out of the village.
Aha.
As we pick up the session with the party having recovered from the party and preparing to make their way out to the river and take a ferry to Meadowburn. The proprietor of the Golden Goblet, as I believe you were continuing to stay in said room, is downstairs tending to some of the more earlier drinkers of the day. And those of you who have your own separate rooms are simply going as you please.
I believe we just had one giant room.
Yes, I do believe you did, didn't you?
Yes, because there was the whole brief conversation about who was going to take it in turns to use the bath, and of course nothing at all happened there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they can't prove that anything happened.
Perhaps Seedy learned a lesson.
Maybe. Oh, by the way, Trig, could you post a link to the stream so that those listening in can see what's being streamed?
Certainly. Let's just do that right now. No, Grace did do nothing wrong. Grace was just mildly terrifying for everyone else around there.
Oh, I do think that thumbnail is going to need to be fixed in the post.
I can...
But that's a problem to solve later. For now,
Yes.
I would like those of you present to give me perception checks.
Ooh. Okay.
Checo de percezione.
This is the real test of have you entered Roll20 or just opened a browser instead of the start page.
Well, what did you do, Kiki?
Oh,
Well, I can see who is and isn't in the session, and well, up until a moment ago, Kiki was the only one not present.
I
hold on. We're
would
missing
like us to
a
avoid the
chase.
slander.
We are missing a chase.
Chasse.
Hmm. Chase.
Chasey Wasey.
Well, I know that he's going to roll a
Remix
20 because I
Macy.
just rolled a 12 and I've been rolling crits all fucking the last session that I was in.
Yep.
Mm.
And once again, Groose has proved that he whilst having a perception of 4, completely and utterly oblivious to everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every perception check, yes, honestly. Every single one, oblivious.
Well,
Okay, I am here. Boom.
Nice.
excellent. Well,
I'm
for
here.
now, we will say,
No, he's here. No, go away.
welcome to the game, Chase. I
No, it's fine.
apologize.
He's evil chase.
The committee decided to begin without you, it seems.
Ouch. All right.
Well, it's your fault for that.
Perception check, please.
Would that be the Wives Committee of Lavendale by chance?
Perception check
Yes,
you
I am.
wanted?
Yes, like
Yes,
everyone else
perception
has.
check, Chase.
All right, let me roll perception.
Okay. I would say everybody except for Gunnar and Groose are able to hear a bit of a commotion coming from the outside. Gregory specifically is able to narrow down a bit of the language being used in this commotion with hints of aggravation and you get the impression, Grigori, that while there is a small mob gathering outside of the Golden Goblet, it appears as though they are after someone.
Oh dear. Oh my. What could that
Bollocks.
have been? What could they be after? I wonder. Better. I should better check on the one that I had to dress up for the first day that we were in Lavendale. Can
Yeah.
I do I hear any specifics or anything?
Well, do you stop to listen for a moment?
Yeah, I do.
You hear a whole lot of voices, but there's a couple of words and phrases that come through. For example, the word menace is able to be heard a couple of times, as well as too dangerous to be left alone, and other phrases of that nature. You get the impression that this is a bit of a manhunt.
Oh no, Seedy, they found you.
They're finally going after you, Seedy. About damn time.
What? I didn't do anything wrong.
Probably
Not
more
yet,
likely
you
to be
Anything wrong you
complaints
know
about
about?
Grace, to be honest.
Yeah,
Why would they
it
want
could
me?
be either of you, to be honest.
As I
Look.
said, I didn't do anything wrong in here.
Look, it's entirely possible that they're talking about something else. Perhaps it's a bounty of some kind.
Well, if they're hunting a
So-
fiend, perhaps we should help them.
I agree.
Let's see. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go upstairs and well, let's just say I'm gonna try to get Gru somewhere to to dress him up to be slightly inconspicuous and get him out through the back door because, let's be honest, we
Okay.
don't want a giant mob after us.
And I will
Before you do
go
anything
investigate the
else,
noise.
I'm going to ask you all to roll Constitution saving throws for the series of hangovers that the party has will likely have had to deal with from the previous session.
Ooh, can I use my skills, my special skill for that?
Oh my god, Chase, you rolled well.
I know, I'm surprised.
Wow. I would say yes. You can use your special skill for this. It's definitely is directly related to drinking.
The practiced drinking skill. Instead of a Constitution saving throw. Oh, the hell are the saving?
I would say this would be for you a Wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
This is you using your. Oh
I'm
no!
gonna totally game it
feeling
and
very
go for the
wise.
dexterity. No, I am not feeling very wise. Shame.
It seems as though you have forgotten your monkly training that allows you to disconnect the mind from the body and allow you to focus even when there are great numbers of toxins flowing through you.
It was the cookies.
The
I'm
rest
telling
of
you, it wasn't the booze.
Give him a break, Ginger. It was New Year.
Regarding
The rest
that,
of you see, the rest of you see as all of you manage to come to some level of awareness of the surrounding environment, that Bruce appears to be out of it, to say the very least. The DC was a 10, with Grigori just about managing to pass.
Yeah, I didn't take any weird cakes or anything. It was just a lot of tasty wine.
Oh, you missed a lot then.
I highly doubt it.
You're just
But
lucky
yes.
you didn't accidentally drink from the spiked punch, because we know Trig would have done that.
Spiking the punch with my good brandy? No way.
He's gonna roofie an entire gang
You
of
would have
people.
spiked the punch with the contents of the fucking flask.
Well,
Yes.
that would have been a New Year to remember.
Yes, literally that.
In any case, all of you but Gruce are able to effectively shake off the worst aspects of a hangover, with Gruce looking like as he could do with at least another 8 hours of sleep. I would say, Gruce, you can have a level of exhaustion applied to you.
Oh, damn.
Where do you put those, by the way? Is there
Yeah.
anywhere that you can set that, or is it just something you need to keep in mind? And it's like, oh yeah, it was just a status of you just get the disadvantage on certain things, right?
You can activate a special tracker for that, but just bear in mind that you have one level of exhaustion, which basically means that your ability checks have a disadvantage.
Oh, this was caused by the weed biscuits and the weed honey, right?
No, it's
Yes.
just a hangover.
That combined with the copious amounts of alcohol drank the night previous.
Ginger, because I was running it last week, forgot to deduct from Garrow's money the cost of the breakfast meal. So could you give me a value for that?
Did you eat at the Golden Goblet?
I think the entire party celebrated there, yes.
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 Right, okay. If it was more
believe
of a
full
feast
English
kind of
is all
scenario.
round.
Right, okay. In that case, I would say probably a half gold piece per person. So let's just round it up to 3 gold.
Okay, thanks. And
Well,
while we're talking about that, I would like to ask, if I noticed that Bruce is looking a bit out of it, could I order a hair of the dog from the barman?
Well, you're still in your room right now. You've got to leave, and those of you who rolled particularly high on your perception would be able to recognize the voice of the barman interacting with the outside crowd.
Yeah, which is why earlier I said I want to go to as fast as possible back to Groose and say we gotta make you disappear fast.
Fair enough. That's probably a good idea.
Darrow will cut in here and say, now hold on here a second. Why do we have anything to be afraid of? We're the, well, maybe not me as much, but you guys are definitely the savior of New Year. They owe you.
Have you pointed out to me why this is and gone, look, there's a crowd out there. Do you think this has anything to do with you? Or have you just gone, you need to hide. Here, put on this dress.
Yeah, I'm gonna like tell you like I think they found out that you're here. We need to get you out of here as soon as possible. Here, put on this
I
dress.
don't know.
No, it's not gonna be a dress, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna just call out to the rest of the group of anybody that's not hungover. I need somebody to help me make him go away.
I can help with that.
I want to. That's good, but I also want to dress him up.
Let's just grab the curtains off the curtain rail and find a mop for head to use for the hair.
So can I, Ginger? Can I use my disguise kit to try and make Groose look as little as Groose as possible? Something to go maybe with a hangover, like a cranky old man or something.
Sure, go ahead. Well, you didn't roll anywhere near as high as the last time, but you did manage to do reasonably well. Did you go through with the suggestion of, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning. I don't even feel tired.
Don't worry.
Did you go through with the suggestion of Ez there with using a mop and curtains?
Something tells me that won't fool anyone.
Or did Yarrow just run over with a mop and curtains and you just look at him with a dirty look and say, fuck off?
Look,
Yes,
Gareth's opinion of this is you shouldn't be hiding. You should go out with your head held high because you saved the New Year, and they owe you. I mean, for all
They
you know, maybe
didn't
can
know.
congratulate you.
Let's not try that if he's allegedly has a death penalty here on his head.
Yeah, let's not gamble with that.
Do we have any reason to assume he has the death penalty on his head?
Gross, do you have the death penalty on your head?
He was kind of banished from town on pain of death, kind of deal. So
Let's call that a death penalty.
maybe.
Yeah, that sounds like a
maybe.
death penalty.
Bruce. I would say roll a history check to see what you can remember.
I mean, it was kind of blurry. It was a long time ago, and there have been a few beers since then. But generally, I know that they were pissed at me because of the whole incident thing.
The greatest thing that you can,
plural.
the most important detail of all of this that you can remember is that your exile was a kind of straw that broke the camel's back scenario, with one of the local visiting nobles being the person who spearheaded an already existing general dismay at your presence.
Uh-huh. Sounds about right.
Imagine an entire town worth of people just waiting for an excuse, and then a noble saying, I want this man dead, and the whole town just jumping on the bandwagon. That's effectively how it went. You don't remember what the punishment was for coming back, though.
Fair.
In any case, let's not make a big deal out of it and just get you out through the back door. And
I agree.
that spell that Seedy has also probably helps.
Veil of shadow. And your companion detection. Okay, so basically yeah.
Have we fed Puck? He's
A plus
asking.
10 bonus on
No.
stealth. That's pretty nice.
I have one question here. Is Grace cool with this? Like sneaking
No,
away?
we're gonna. Grace can do whatever she wants. I'm just gonna try to get him away before Grace has anything to do about it.
So you two are going off ahead and leaving the rest of us.
And Seedy.
Yeah, if someone's made me aware of what's going off, and I'm not just sort of fumbling around going, "Oh God, my head! What did I do last night? Why?"
No, like hold your shoulders. They're after you downstairs. There's a big mob of it. I heard them. They want you, and then I try dressing you up as best I can. Seedy puts on the spell, and well, let's get it.
Let's get the fuck out.
We need to get out to the back
Alright.
door before they find us.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab my shit and DD the fuck out of there, I guess.
And just as a quick clarification, what are the less duplicitous members of the party doing, being Garrow and Grace?
And Marsh, I think. He wouldn't be with us. Gunnar.
Yes. Honestly, I kind of want to just like check out what's happening at the front.
All right, so
Yeah.
whilst Grigori is giving Bruce a new coat of paint,
Hold on.
Garrow, Grace.
Can I see the mob from the bedroom window? So we're upstairs, right? I can look out the window. Can I see these people down there?
The room that you're in was basically this place is equivalent to the penthouse suite,
Right.
and
okay.
as such, the balcony gives you a very broad and beautiful view of the back of the establishment, looking over the fields of flowers. The closest thing you can get to looking at the crowd is noticing that there appears to be some raised paces of people running around the outside of the building.
Okay. So that's a no. I can't sort of look out the window and see a mob below me.
No, unfortunately not.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, let's get the hell out of here.
So, just to be clear, that Gunnar and Grace, whilst Bruce is getting his makeover, I believe you two mentioned that you were going to head down to the front area and take a look at the crowd, correct?
I would quite like to meet with the crowd and see whether there's anything I can do to help them bring whatever villain they're looking for to justice.
I will go with her, and I will approach them first.
I will also go because I want to know what's going on.
All right. Well, as the three of you make your way downstairs, you see that it seems as though some of the crowd have by this point made their way into the establishment proper, and whilst they're certainly rowdy, they're not being particularly destructive, as you see the owner of the Golden Goblet standing behind the bar, just simply pleading with the crowd and asking them to calm down or leave.
So they're obeying all the cordon lines, are they? And the ropes.
No, they're not.
Have they?
Are they protesting in a
is-
mostly peaceful fashion?
I suppose you could say that. But
Where's the
most
fire
importantly,
extinguishers?
as the three of you make your way down the stairs, you see as one of the people in the crowd points in your direction and shouts, "There she is!"
Oh shit.
Wait, she?
What did you do, Grace?
Okay, I just whispered to Seedy and Cruz, let's get out of here even faster.
By this time, I would say, but bear in mind, Grace, Garrow, and Gunnar they have made their way downstairs, whilst the other three members of the party are still up in the room. With Bruce receiving a makeover from you, Grigori, and Seedy doing whatever Seedy wants to do.
The spell.
The spell, of course.
Yes.
And play with this rat.
Right.
But yes, you see as this one member of the crowd you would say that there's maybe 12-ish people that are, at a glance, at a rough estimate, all piled into the front area, with one of them being you recognizing as the man whose hand you almost removed the day previous.
You what?
In either case,
yeah.
I'm going to say
both Gunnar and Garrow weren't there.
Yeah, neither of us actually know this story.
At this point, I'm just saying, what? What do you want her for? Don't worry, she's just my fine companion.
Seems as though you people have some.
Of you the opportunity for what I'm going to refer to as a snap decision. You have a combat equivalence round of actions to make. This being a quick 6-second series of events. What do you do during this time? You're stood at the bottom of a series of stairs. There is a baying mob who have rapidly identified that they are apparently targeting Grace. And that is so far all you know.
I think
I'm going to want to ask Grace what she's done.
We don't have time for that. I think if we're on the stairs, I'd at least like perhaps me and Garrow are at the bottom of the stairs and Grace is a bit behind us. And then we just try and ask them what
Grace is going straight in.
Well, I stop you. I use my doggy to body block you.
Wait, is
Be
Grace
careful.
going to answer if we ask her a question?
Sorry, what was that, Ed?
I was asking Kiki, would Grace not stop if we ask her a question? She'd just ignore us.
No. Why, hold on a second. It seems like these people have some kind of problem. We should work it out with them.
Yes, but we should do so from a distance, preferably.
From a distance? It's far easier to hear each other when we're up close.
I think they'll shout plenty loud enough.
That amount of dialogue is what you can manage to squeeze out in a 6-second period.
Oh no.
So, is there anything else that you would have been doing as this little bit of discussion was happening? Or shall I move on to what the crowd does next after seeing you?
Go ahead. I mean, I'm just asking Grace if she knows anything. Like, what was this all about?
Yeah. All
right. Well, in that case, I just need to double check something. Feel free to use this as an opportunity to plan.
We need to plan? Oh dear.
Oh, we don't need any planning.
Uh-oh.
Least of all, do we need permission for planning?
I hope you have the
building
interiors for... sorry.
Oh no. I sure hope we don't get moved to a combat map now. I don't think it'd be particularly good if the first time I used Sun Swallower was on a crowd of hapless peasants.
Oh, you guys
I
decided
don't
that
think
you were to
can
keep
use it if you haven't attuned.
I am the. Oh, damn it! That's right. I haven't. Oh, damn it! It's not attuned. Shit.
Did nobody attune to it while we're still there? Ah, shit.
Some people were
More
too
important
busy
things
making a
going on,
party.
like getting high.
Basically.
I was
So,
gonna tune that sword,
Well,
but
at
then
the
I
very
got
least, you
high.
can't blame me for that.
I can try.
as the party, well, half of the party at the very least, are stood there at the top of the stairs having this brief bit of dialogue, you see as one particular man begins to stride out in front, seemingly stepping forward just enough to be able to make his presence known, but not so much as you would be able to consider him singled out from the crowd. You can tell there's a degree of cowardice in his stance as he shouts out, "That's the one! That's the one that tried to cut off my hand!"
With good
You
reason.
can't do a bad fake French accent, Ginger.
I'm not going to try. I'm not that cruel to the French.
Why not? Are you not British?
Seems like he isn't. Let's get him,
Look.
guys.
I have a degree of mercy in me today.
He has a degree of mercy in him. Let's get him, guys.
Yeah, that's a French word.
Yes, I believe it's merci.
You're welcome.
Ah,
Wait, hang on a second. Grace, did you try and cut this gentleman's hand off?
With
Yes!
good reason.
What was the reason?
Oh, he was committing atrocities. We had to teach him a lesson.
I'll give you a French accent.
What kind of atrocities could a man like this commit? He looks like some sort of store owner.
Bribery.
Crazy bitch! She tried to cut off my hund.
Ginger, I'm going to
Your
give you
dog.
inspiration for that.
My hund.
I thing to your
Poor
dog.
dog.
Look, the only thing I know in how to create a French accent is to add in far too many vowels into every word.
Ginge, the best way to do it is take away all the S's and all the H's. So happiness becomes happiness.
I'm not doing that.
Worse.
Sorry, did
Well-
you say happiness is a penis?
Happiness becomes a penis.
That's
Yes.
what I thought you said, yes. Okay, yeah.
Happiness.
Very fitting for the French.
Yeah, pretty much.
But anyway, as the man steps forward and makes this accusation towards the three of you, you see as he rapidly shrinks back into the crowd, seemingly wanting to conceal his presence, specifically from the crazy woman who he is accusing.
You claim that you were not worth this this action? That you had done nothing to deserve it?
You don't hear a response. Instead, you just simply hear the group of people. It's roughly a 50-50 split of men and women, actually. With most of the men shouting at you and a couple of the women screaming something about harboring a criminal or something to that effect.
This man himself is a criminal. I'll have you know. He committed an act of bribery. He attempted to sway a competition with heinous acts.
You
What competition are you talking about?
I want to lean up to Garrow and try to tell him that maybe we should start to find a way to leave.
If he does not believe in
no,
fairness in healthy competition, then how can he believe in fairness in trade? Perhaps he's doing all manner of other dirty dealings. Have you considered that? How could you harbour such a person in your city?
You see and hear as one of the women, one that you would recognize to be the wife of the man whose hand you tried to remove. By the way, Grace, roll me a history check to see if you actually remember the name of the man.
Probably not.
I would say that is just barely sufficient for you to remember. Only after having made this rant, you remember the person's name to be Unhygienics.
Ah, that's the one. Yeah, what was this? What did he kept hanging around the shop? Or what were they called? Dairies? No, diaries.
Doily.
Well, present for you
Doilies.
guys.
Doily man.
There we go. In case it makes any difference.
That is terrible, and also brilliant.
I love it.
You know what? Let's just go with that.
In any case, you see as the wife steps forward, and she points at you and says, "Not only did you try to cut off my man's hand, but you also have a horrible man who's almost burnt down this whole place."
Wait, did I?
Wait, what?
Wait,
Who did
what?
that?
Oh no.
Do we
You
need
get
to roll
the-
like a perception to see if we could actually understand what she said?
I can certainly try
Um,
and understand this uncouth
All right.
woman.
Yeah, go
Garen's
ahead. Go ahead. Roll.
gonna step forward here. And he's gonna say, address the crowd. People, men, women, gentlemen. No, in this time of New Year, let us break bread and actually discuss what is the actual problem here. Well, what are you saying that my ally here has done?
Alloy.
At this point, you just hear as the mob begins to incoherently begin shouting various things, and you're not able to pass one shouting angry person's words over the other. But you do see as the owner of the Golden Goblet quickly hops over the bar in a feat of uncharacteristic panic as he rapidly makes his way over to the three of you and says, "Look, you have to understand, these people, they are angry at something here. I think they're angry at you," he points towards Grace, "and also angry at someone that you're traveling with, one of the others."
This man who has gathered you here today, he is nothing but a fiend, dealing an underhanded character.
Can I do a perception check to see if this man's hand is actually wounded?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You will allow such corruption to go on in your town? You will stand for someone so villainous?
You note as Grace is ranting back at the crowd, and the crowd is baying like a horde of admittedly rather cowardly, but still rather angry people.
I'm presuming 23 persuasion does nothing.
I'll get to the persuasion check, don't worry. For now, you can consider your persuasion check to be effectively holding them back through sheer force of word alone. But for now, Gunnar, as you look forwards and look for the same man who accused Grace of attempting to remove his hand, you see that both of his hands are balled up into fists, pumping into the air in rage, neither of which look particularly injured. In fact, if you had to guess, probably the closest thing to a removal either of these hands have suffered in recent years is a sewing accident.
well, with all this noise going on from both sides, Garrow is going to clap his hands loudly and call for quiet. Quite loudly.
All right. Are you magically enhancing this, or are you brute force clapping?
Just clapping my hands very hard and crying out, quiet!
All right. Well, before we get to that, Kiki, you can see as your protests and your explanations for your actions, and most importantly, your denouncements of the horrible unhygienics whose hand you threatened to remove, but were eventually persuaded that perhaps that would be a bad call. You see, as some of the crowd are looking at the man and having their expressions turn from anger to more so disgust at the person they once were backing up, and you see as about 4 or 5 of the crowd who have managed to barge their way into the building, you just simply turn around and begin to barge their way back out again.
Someone's persuasive.
So
Well-
it seems as though you've managed to assuage the bandwagon style of anger that has been mobbed up against you in particular.
I want to again go up to Garrow and tell him about what I saw about his arms, that they're just not injured. And hopefully
Okay,
he can use his booming voice to make it heard.
Am
I
I
would like-
able to quiet everyone down with my booming voice and clap?
Okay, I would say roll intimidation.
Ooh, sure.
As you boom your hands together and you demand silence from the crowd, you find that the crowd is somewhat affected by this, as the moment your hands meet together in a powerful slap, you see a couple of the women suddenly stop short mid-sentence and just look at you with some of them a degree of fear and others with a degree of lust. But in either case, you manage to silence all of the women in the crowd quite effectively, and also one of the more meek-looking men.
So I shall
Unhide-
look around the room, and if I can't see anyone that looks like an obvious leader, I'm going to elect one by picking out and pointing at the shopkeeper, the man who has made the accusation, to come forward.
So
Right.
you
Do I
the
see
man he
anyone besides
approaches.
him who looks like they're in charge?
You get the impression that this is a mostly leaderless mob, with
then
Unhygienics
I will
himself
pick.
having been the one who's drummed up probably the closest thing to a position of leadership within the group. By the way, at this
And I
point,
shall-
you would estimate around 8 individuals are stood before you.
Okay, I shall point at the shop keeper and say, "You come forward." And I gesture to Grace to come forward as well. I'm not looking happy right now. I've got quite a grim look on my face. I'm not in any mood for all this messing about. Does he come forward?
Well, as you point directly at him and demand his approach, you see as the rest of the crowd suddenly go quiet, as this move was apparently unexpected. You get the impression that they were hoping for more of a shouting match.
Cat.
But in either case, when you point at Unhygienics directly and demand his approach, you see as he initially tries to shrink back into the safety of the crowd before a couple of individuals shove him forwards against his will.
Does he eventually come forward?
He does, but you could definitely tell that he is fearful of Grace.
Okay, once he has approached and Grace is standing on the other side of me, I turn to him, I soften my look a little bit and offer him my hand. So, greetings, my name is Garrow, gentleman wizard, occasional explorer. What's your name?
See as he clears his throat and he straightens his back and he puts on his bravest face, swallows, goes to just almost as if second nature meet your handshake with his own before stopping and recoiling his hand and saying, I'm not going to offer my hand to one such as yourself.
Why not?
You will not even
We have
face
never
us
met.
directly.
I
You
raise
are
an
friends
eyebrow
with
at
that
you.
one. She will try to take it if I give it to you.
I turn to Grace and say, Grace, will you give me your word that you will not take his hand until we have worked out the facts of the situation?
We know the facts of the situation.
I
This man is
don't.
a fraud.
I don't. I have never met this man before.
As soon as Grace raises her voice, you will immediately see a good portion of the artificially built up pluck that he's managed to muster just immediately drain away from him. At this point, the rest of the crowd, by the way, have gone almost entirely silent and are just simply watching.
So
Not
I'll
only
turn back to. Oh, go ahead.
Not only do I think that you people should not be supporting such a villainous person, I think, if anything, you should be acting in the best interest of the public and doing all you can to defy such behavior. In fact, I believe that we do not stand together for the greater good if we don't boycott this man's business.
What is his business, Grace?
He sells perfumes. Perfumes that he will happily pay people who make judgments and will give ratings on such things in order to give a better rating than they might justly deserve.
Perfumes.
What? The man is speechless in face of Grace.
He cannot even speak for himself.
Is this true, nameless shopkeeper? One who would not even give his name to a gentleman such as myself? Do you pay people to write false reviews about you?
My name is Unhygienics, and no, I do not. This woman is a psychopath, and she is doing her damnedest to try and turn people against me.
Well, as far as I can see, first off, you're a man of little honor. You would not even shake a hand of a gentleman such as myself. And you're the one who came here.
Gentleman.
Oh, I think you'll find I am.
You look as though you would rip my arm off with one yank.
And yes,
Garrow is the gentleman who would never do such a thing without proper cause.
And why do I need to believe you? You a half-pinted midget.
Oh,
strike me, Mr. Unhygienic, that this half-pinted midget and this brute are the only people keeping you from losing a hand right now.
A racist, too. He defiles the name of the honourable dwarves.
As you say that you and Gunnar are the only thing stopping him from losing his hand, you see the outstretched pointed hand as he was addressing directly towards Gunnar suddenly recoil and enter a hidden pouch.
Speaking of hands, given that you still have both, what merit does your accusation even have in the first place?
He just kind of looks and just wordlessly begins to... He looks as though he is constantly trying to start a rebuttal, but it never manages to get to the point of actually creating any sound. So all he's really doing is just moving his lips nonsensically. Before he eventually throws both of his hands up into the air and shouts, "These people, they're psychopaths, all of them! They need to get out of the city!"
I turn to him and say, "My good man, why are you actually trying to hope to get out of this encounter with us?"
He looks vaguely confused and just looks towards you and once again plucks up as much courage as he can, does his best attempt to look down his nose at you despite the fact that you are clearly taller than him, and says, "An apology."
An apology for what? You still haven't said what's happened. Calling someone a psychopath? Well, as last I checked, being a psychopath isn't a crime.
She tried to take my hand.
Did she succeed?
But he just holds up both of his hands and says, "No."
Then what do you need an apology for? Seems like everything is right with the world.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh God.
Well,
Oh god, fuck yes.
as you say this, Garrow, you see the look of you see a look of noteworthy and recognizable defeat enter this man's face. You see that he has attempted to cross wits with you and has clearly failed. As
Oof.
you see, as his eyes begin to dart from left to right, seemingly following the actions of his mind as he searches his head for another reason to try and pit a reason against you and your friends to try and accuse you of something. But
Before you can
after
come up
a
with
couple of
anything,
seconds, yes,
before you can speak up again, I just said, so my good sir, what was it? Unhygienics, wasn't it? Let me ask you, do you think that this fine paladin here has the capability of taking your hand if she so desired?
yes.
So, do you think it's a good idea to antagonize her? When you seem to have all the hands you need right now, what are you actually hoping to get?
Well, he looks behind him and sees as the rest of the crowd are now staring at him with a look of unamusement before he just looks back at the three of you and says, "I have had enough of this. I am leaving."
I think
And
that
turns
might be a
around
good
and
idea,
just
don't you?
walk and just he in one last show of defiance, he turns on his heel and with a degree of distinct dishonor and most importantly disrespect, turns his back on the three of you before pridefully striding out of the establishment.
Cut
What
his
a
hand.
bad-
Cut his hand.
Well, he
Cut
just
his hand.
walks away from us. That's his defiance.
That's
I thought you were
What
going
a-
to make him stick his finger up or something.
Well,
that's what little amount of defiance he's willing to show.
What a horrible man. I wouldn't want to have to deal with his returns policy.
Cut his hand.
he's walking away with both his hands. That alone is an act of defiance against him, clearly. Not that I would say
I
this
will
out
say
loud.
from now,
I
if
know
he
it's
had done
different for myself.
anything more, I would have grabbed him by his collar and made him apologize to Grace.
Well, after this little encounter, you hear one of the people in the crowd say, "I never liked him anyway."
He doesn't seem like a very likable fellow, does he?
You see, as
I'll
you'll
address
also
the crowd
see
before they
as things. You know how they go.
And which one of my friends are you saying needs to be run out of town?
Well, it's not really that he needs to be run out of town. He was kind of banished. Good, like maybe 6, 7 years ago, and well,
6, 7 years
he's
is
been
a long
spotted.
time.
Yeah, he's been spotted a few times here and there, and around.
Am I
the last
upstairs
few
still, or
years.
have I come down? Sorry.
I
I would say at this point, the rest of the party can choose to come down.
Yeah, let's do that.
I would have
Let's do that.
loved. I would have
want
loved.
to address this group at some point.
What were you saying, Kiki?
I was just saying, I would have loved for Bruce to have come down in a dress with a mop on his head halfway through, then berating me.
But yes, Garrow, go ahead.
I want to turn to the whole group after hearing this guy's story and say, all of you should be ashamed. Is it not just New Year's? Wasn't the weird flower thing burnt last night, and you're all supposed to, signify, forgiveness and everything? And look at you, one day into the new year, and you're rabble rousing. You're trying to run people out of town. This. You should be ashamed of yourselves, all of you.
Look, man. You see as the rest of the crowd are kind of looking around to each other and looking as though you've made a good point to them. But then, the one man who stepped forward to speak to you directly, he looks at you with a degree of simultaneous respect, but also a degree of pleading in his eyes as he says, "Look, I can't force you to do anything, but look, your friend, he kind of caused us a lot of trouble back then, and well, one of the bits of trouble he made was that he pissed off one of the nobles visiting from the capital. And this guy was pretty powerful, and we kind of promised him that we'd run your friend out of town and he wouldn't be allowed back. And it's less of grudges and more of just holding up our end of a deal. So
I care not for that. I'm sorry. If
come on,
you
man,
were
really?
always going to stick ironclad to a rule and never look at the circumstances, then all I can say is your town is going to leave everyone with a sour taste in its mouth when they leave. Now, this man that you are telling us has done things wrong. He has saved your new year, and he has saved this very town from a dastardly monster, a weapon wight, would you believe? And you want to run him out of town, the hero of Lavendale himself?
I'd like to chip in from the background as well and point out that he was also the one that stopped my good friend Grace from disarming the perfumier with the odorous name.
All right, well, 2 questions. First of all, is Groose chipping this in?
Yes, Groose is chipping this in.
Okay, and have you decided to go with the disguise, and if so, which disguise?
Oh, I think we're just going for a standard disguise kit. I don't know if the mop and curtains is just stealing more stuff.
I'm sure you'll pay them back. I mean, the town isn't dead.
We also let's say that dress you're wearing, it's sort of puffed up at the ass a bit because we just chucked it full with all the towels and the soap.
Oh. In fact, I'm going to shout up and go, "Unhygienics! Step forward again. Will you attest to the fact that it was indeed me standing up for you and desperately
left.
Yeah, Unhygienics fucked off earlier. Thoroughly verbally trounced by Groose.
Garrow.
Garrow.
Okay, so he's not just in the back of the crowd. He has left. Shame.
Yeah. He's left, and his wife has followed him.
Shame.
But as you do make your way forwards and begin to, quite literally stick up for yourself,
Yeah,
you You see, as you're doing this, the man just kind of looks at you for a moment as you begin speaking, as you've made your way down the stairs, squints his eyes and says, "That's you, isn't it?"
Yeah, it's me. Times have changed, but not that much.
Nice disguise.
Thank you. I was hoping to sneak out without too much hassle, but seeing as you seem to be accosting my friends, I thought I'd put in. How about this? You banished me, right? You want us to leave the town, perhaps? Because we were planning on doing that. In fact, you guys are getting in the way of us leaving. That was what we wanted to do this morning, and now we're arguing with you. So, if you guys would leave us alone, we'll go. I mean, I look around at everyone. That was the plan, wasn't it? We were going to go and catch the ferry. I mean, have we missed the ferry? If you guys have stopped us missing the ferry, if you caused us to miss the ferry, you are literally tripping over yourselves. You want us to go. We want to go. Why don't you just escort us down to the ferry? Pay for our ticket even, if you like.
Roll me insight checks, everybody who is currently involved in all of this.
All right.
I would say anybody who rolled a 13 or higher are able to recognize that at this point, the man speaking on behalf of the crowd he doesn't hold any animosity towards Bruce. In fact, Bruce, you're actually able to recognize him as one of the sons of the various owners of the fields of flowers in the area, and you remember him being a lot younger than what he is now, which that's how time works. But in either case, you can see that he doesn't seem to have any kind of animosity towards you. He just happens to be, leading the charge because, well, he's the one who's leading the charge. But as you continue on through this argument, he just kind of turns back to the rest of the crowd and says, "Look, he needs to leave, right? He says he wants to leave. So we've done our job, right?" And you see as the rest of the crowd just kind of look to each other with a degree of uncertainty. You can see that there's a degree of deliberation coming forth. If you want to chip in.
I mean, if you doubt my word at all, that you had a nice night last night, a good party, yes? We helped put that together. Go speak to, what is her name? I keep forgetting. Incontinentia or something. She will certainly...
chimes up, impedimenta.
Impedimenta, that's the one. In fact, here, I will hold up my drinking horn. They paid me this as a thank you. They gave me this as a thank you for putting together the bash that we all had and enjoyed last night. I mean, is this any way of thanking me? I ask you that. Honestly, is this a way to thank me for the party?
Garo calls out, "Too right. You should be applauding this man, not chasing him out of town."
Well, I think that chapter's... sorry.
There's just silence in the crowd as this continues on, and you get the impression that this man who stands before you, the one who has been, the ringleader of sorts. Bruce, you would recognize this man to be a once child named Jacob, and you get the impression that you've definitely won him over, but at this point he's just kind of standing back and letting you all preach to the crowd.
Jacob? It is Jacob, isn't it? I seem to remember you, Jacob. Good chap, if I remember. Look, I was a kid back then. We made some mistakes. I was a bit more leery. Had a bit of fun. Fun went a bit too far. I've changed a bit.
Look, man, the only thing I remember of you is that you piffed a rock through someone's window one time, and I thought it was hilarious. So, I don't have any problems with you. I'm just trying to,
Okay, I'll tell you what, Jacob. Ask, is there anybody in the crowd? Anybody in the crowd? Does anybody in the crowd have a problem with us going our merry way to the ferry and leaving town after arranging for you all a nice party last night, and it all being a little bit soured by the way you've been behaving now? I mean, if you guys want to make it up for us by buying me a drink, or the ticket out of here, or whatever, certainly that might be a way of saying thank you.
It's...
I'm frowning at them at the moment, feeling a little put out, knowing damn well I'm being cheeky because I know.
This is fucking hilarious.
What persuasion check?
I roll a persuasion check. Okay. Crap at persuasion.
It's an 11. Oh shit.
You see, as the rest of the people, the 6 or 7 that do remain, they just kind of, over the course of your speech defense, they've just kind of drifted back out, seeing that the fervor of the crowd has kind of run its course. At this point, there's only Jacob and another woman who's there, and Jacob just looks at you and says, "Well, I don't think you've made any friends here, but I think you've lost a few enemies."
He'll do. He'll do.
But you got to pay for your own way to get out, I'm afraid. I don't. I can't make that up. I ain't got the money for it, man.
Fair enough. It's worth a try, wasn't it? Say with a cheeky grin.
He shrugs. He's not smiling at you, but he walks over to the woman and just kind of looks at her and says, "Ava, right?" And she nods silently. Could you just go out and tell the others that he's gonna go? She nods and makes her way out, and you all hear the woman's voice just call out and proclaim quite proudly that the menace has been banished once again, or words to that effect. And you hear is the crowd cheers in response. And well, when I say crowd, at this point, you can quite clearly tell that the waiting has mostly dispersed the majority of them. You would guess from the response that there's maybe double digits worth of people outside. Honestly, for a lynch mob, even at its greatest power, it really didn't amount to a whole lot.
Fair enough. Well, that was a thing.
Hey, Jacob turns to you, Groose, and says, "You don't look too good.
I'm hammered,
you feeling
mate.
okay?"
I'm hammered. I did last night. I don't know. There was cookies. There was drinks. There was some cake. There was some honey. There was more drinks. And then
you didn't have a big glass of water before you went to bed, did you?
I don't remember getting back to the hotel, mate. I just remember having a dance and generally going, that smells of lavender. And
I'll be back in a minute or two.
And that's about it. There was some smoke. I remember talking to some guy about the smoke. Yeah, he was some sort of wizard. He was helping to to put on the smoky display. He was he was having a good time. People seem to be having a good time, and
yeah, that was the representative for the capital.
Yeah,
He's a nice fella.
He wasn't the noble that was angry with you, was he?
No, that's one of the tourists.
Oh, who cares about tourists?
He actually hasn't been back here since, by the way. Since that day. Well, I haven't seen him at the very least.
Do I still have the wheat cookies?
Unless you ate them all, yes.
Okay, let me just add them.
Yeah, Jacob looks at you with now a degree of sympathy now that everybody else in the room has left, and just says, "Yeah, let me buy you a drink." So,
lovely.
you know.
Thank you.
And he walks over to the owner of the Golden Goblet and says, "What have you got that's the cheapest thing? I've not. I want to buy him a drink, but I've not got a lot of cash to do so." You just see as the owner of the Golden Goblet just kind of looks at your party with a much stronger degree of sympathy than what anybody else in this entire encounter is giving you, and says, "For you, it is on the house." As he pulls out a goblet and pours out a small amount of wine, and just simply puts it on the side and gestures flamboyantly towards you, Bruce.
Thank you very much.
It's drinking time.
Mm-hmm.
Hair of the dog.
Indeed.
Is this just for you, or do we all get drinks from the house?
Just for the friend here who has the problems, he says, gesturing towards Goose.
Thank you very much, and I will give it a good old slug.
You recognize the wine as being wine of the Athos monastery.
Ooh.
Excellent.
You get the impression that one of the reasons why this man is able to have such a successful business as the Golden Goblet is that he get the impression that he has a particularly good memory for people's favorites.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
But in either case, with this having come to a close and Jacob giving you a proverbial tip of the hat before making his way out, you've successfully managed to address the general degree of disdain that Groose had managed to build up over all of these years. You get the distinct impression that helping out with last night's celebrations was a long way towards achieving this newfound degree of peace. A long way.
Good.
But
Good.
all that said, is there anything else that anybody would like to do within the town of Lavendale? Or are you going to make your way over to the river and catch a ferry to the capital?
I'd like to.
Why we picked the capital?
Well, it has most of the things we need. It probably has something for you as well.
Perhaps I might have missed that conversation. That's all.
if I remember rightly, it was basically a case of various people want to buy some things, look into stuff, and Marsh wants access to a decent, good workshop, and we thought that that would be the nearest, essentially, with the ferry.
Let's
Place
be
of
honest. We had the socializing. We had the partying. We even had a boss fight. We basically did everything that we needed to do in this town.
yeah.
Right. Well, Garrow says, perhaps I'll look up some old acquaintances while we're up there. Haven't been to the old capital city in years.
You keep
Well,
saying your old
excellent.
adventures and stuff. How old are you?
He raises an eyebrow at you and says, "You never asked a gentleman his age, my friend."
You never ask a lady her age. A gentleman should probably oblige.
Never ask a man his gentleman his
well,
paycheck.
I suppose that
actually.
is why we would never know your age, my dear.
One, I'm not a woman. And two, I'm just curious because you keep telling about your old adventures. So you must have...
Out of character, I haven't actually decided how old Garrow is, so I can't really give you an answer.
Okay.
He's old enough
I'm
to
gonna
drink,
say,
and let's leave it at that.
he's probably in his 30s, but he's probably lost track of time enough that he's not sure.
Question is, does he know his date of birth? My guess is no.
I think he knows what sign he's born under. And if you use like the Chinese star sign system, then he probably would know what year. But if it's a month system like the Gregorian, then he might not.
Hmm. Well, it is a month-based system, I'm afraid. So, I guess that is lost to the. I guess that's lost to the sands of time.
I'm sure there are people who know. But it doesn't really matter, you know, as long as you enjoy life.
I guess.
Sure.
Turns to Theo and says, I think one of the problems you elven folk have is your lives are so long that you too easily get stuck in the past. When you know the past is important, but you'll never get anywhere if you're always looking backwards.
I just shrug. That is one way to view it. Who knows? Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. We'll see in about 20 years.
I would like to test this theory, and so Grace shall attempt to get to her table by walking backwards.
All right
That'd be
then.
an
I would
athletics,
say no. That is definitely a dexterity saving throw, or just a dexterity check. Actually, yeah. Dexterity check.
Where's Grace moonwalking off to? Where's she?
Towards one of the nearby tables, she said.
It's more like she's probably towards the floor.
It's more than a 10.
Just.
But is that enough?
You see as Grace very gracefully edges backwards. She kicks over a few chairs, being careful to make sure that the chairs fall over rather than herself. But ultimately, Grace does in fact manage to eventually find the table before proceeding to sit on it.
What has Grace learnt?
I'll look thoughtfully, as if I have gained a profound wisdom.
So, is there anything that anybody would like to do?
Nothing right now.
I think so.
All right,
Let's just make sure that we're stocked up on supplies and then just leave.
I think we have
Probably
ample
a good
supplies.
call.
Yeah, Yeah, we probably have.
Before we catch a ferry, there is one thing Garrow would like to do, actually.
Oh.
Are there any cologne shops?
As a matter of fact, there are.
Oh,
However,
God.
they are also perfume shops.
Garrow would like to find the one that is the least perfumey and the most, I suppose, musky is the right term.
Cologne.
Well, I
Well-
would recommend the one that we won the actual competition.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Good point. Good point.
Okay. Let's say Bruce notices Garrow's window shopping and puts two and two together.
You make a good point. I would also like to buy some nice smelling stuff from that store.
I was just thinking, if we're going to be heading to Meadowburn, I might as well pick something up for my old mentor.
I know that one smelt nice, and certainly the other ones tasted awful. So I'd go with that one. Grumpy chap. He might be a bit more cheerful now he won the prize, etc.
Yeah.
I believe this was Bob's Flowers, correct?
Bob's
No,
Flowers, wasn't it?
It wasn't
Yeah.
Bob. I'm looking up at them. Give me a sec.
Cranky dude is cranky man is how I wrote it down.
It was
Yeah.
Jerry.
Jerry.
Geriatrics.
Yeah, geriatrics. Yes.
Ah, yes, of course.
Oh, well, good. My good friend Bruce, lead on if you know a good establishment.
Yes, I will happily show you the way. We know the way. It's at the door.
Well, while we're walking, I'll just whisper to Bruce. But by the way, you're not supposed to drink them.
No, they taste horrible. Horrible. I mean, goblins might like it. It is, yeah, terrible. Oh,
Garrow
nice, eh?
shakes his head and just says once more, "You're not supposed to drink them."
Breath smell of flowers all day as well. Yeah.
Well, at least on that, there might have been some improvement.
Fair.
I can't
I
tell.
mean,
Is this Garrow or Ez speaking right now?
I'm not quite
Yes.
sure either, but
This is Garrow.
yes. Oof.
Well, as the party make their way over to Jerry Atrix's shop, you see as the shop looks as unassuming as ever. The large carving of a particularly colourful variety of lavender, a very bold, almost magenta pink, is just simply waiting there, almost inviting you in.
Is this the place, Bruce?
Yes, I think this is the one.
Yep, that's the one.
Well,
That's the one.
let's go in. You say he's the one who won, so I suppose we will have to congratulate him.
Yes. I mean, he should recognize some of us. But yes,
Maybe this
absolutely.
time you should just keep your mouth shut, Bruce.
No, maybe this time you might want to actually sort of say thank you properly for him winning.
Just don't make any weird jokes again that nobody except you understands.
Okay.
Ez,
Yes.
remind me, does this man have a particularly extravagant voice?
No, he just think grumpy old man.
A
Maybe
geriatric
slightly
one,
less.
might say.
If you ever read the book Goodnight, Mr. Tom, is that think of that guy?
Right, okay. I haven't read Godmite, Mr. Tom, but I have an idea as to how to do Grumpy Old Man.
Just make him Jerry Seinfeld.
So, as you all make your way into the building, you see as he is just working away at one of his desks. You see he's adding. You get the impression that he seems to be working on some kind of new concoction and is entirely uninterested in your presence.
I shall stride in confidently and in a booming voice say, "Greetings, my good man. I hear that you are a competent cologne producer."
But I'm not being talked at. He says, without even looking at you and just continuing to work on whatever it is that he's currently engrossed himself in.
Congratulations on winning the contest.
Mm.
It was definitely the improvement over the rest, at least from my point.
Well, as you continue on the conversation, he soon gives an exaggerated and exasperated sigh as he puts down the various little vials that he has in his hands with not so much force as to damage them, but with enough force to know that he is actively trying to demonstrate annoyance in your presence, and just looks directly towards the party and says, what could Jared do for it?
I would like to roll a perception to see if he's just putting this on as an act or if this is actually how he is.
Wouldn't that be
Go
insane?
ahead. And actually, yes, that would be insight. So, yeah.
Oh, I'll roll insight then.
Okay.
Well, that was terrible.
Oh, no. We'll take the roll that you got the first time, which is a 13 plus 1, making a 14.
Okay.
You get the impression that this is just his default state. It's also probably a good explanation as to why he isn't particularly successful in things. He has a perfume shop, but despite the fact that he quite clearly made the best perfume, he at the same time isn't exactly the most well known.
Right. My good man, I'm in the market for some cologne for, well, I would like something that epitomizes, shall we say, monocles and God, what are those things called again? What are those
Cane,
things people wear on their
top hats?
shoulders?
Hmm.
No,
Cape?
no,
Shawl.
this is all in
Epaulets?
character, by the way.
Epaulets.
Ah, thank you, Grace. Yes, epaulets and monocles. Do you have anything that would invoke such a scent?
See as he looks at you for a moment, gives you a very heavily cocked eyebrow to the point where one of his eyes actually closes whilst staring at you as he says, "You want some perfume that'll make you actually sound and smell like someone who's particularly fancy and obnoxious.
Yes.
Am I understanding that correct?"
Yes.
No, of course not. Just something that would complement a successful gentleman who's been around the ocean, shall we say?
Ah, you want to smell like a seaman?
He wants to sell.
I don't do semen here, but I do have an idea as to what you're looking for.
That whole exchange just went completely over Gary's head.
And Garrow is very tall, so that's impressive.
Yes.
He strokes a small relatively well-maintained beard and thinks for a moment before making his way over to a shelf of various vials of perfumes and the like. And as he does, you see as he looks through all of the various bits and pieces he has on the shelf, he looks like he's about to go reach for something and then looks back at you and says, "What's your budget?"
I'd say something in the region of 20 to 30 gold.
Right.
It's for a good friend, you see.
You see, as the thing that he was originally reaching for changes direction and instead reaches for a different vial. Something which is... you get the impression that he was originally going for something very high-end and is now metering his expectations. And makes his way back over to this little desk that almost looks like an alchemy table from Skyrim. But he proceeds to take a couple of different vials that are already on the desk, combined with the one that he has in his hand and just taken off the shelf. And you see as he adds a few drops of this, a quick dash of powdered something, and then proceeds to grind it all up into a mortar and pestle before gesturing it towards you and saying, "How's this?"
I shall take it and give it a sniff. Can you describe to me?
You get the smells of something unexpected. There's a similar... Okay. The smell that comes from this is much less so that of a series of notable scents, and more like the smell of a memory that doesn't belong to you. As you smell this, you are immediately... your mind, your subconscious eye is immediately whisked away to standing on a harbor of sorts, looking out at the ocean with a tumbler filled with whiskey in hand and a cigar in the other, looking out and wishing for a good final voyage.
My word. I pass it to my party members and say, give this a sniff. If it wasn't for his lack of a wizard's hat, I would say this fellow must be a wizard.
A
Not a
thousand
wizard,
bombs and
just got a
grenades.
good nose.
Yeah, this smells like I want to scream 1,000 bombs and grenades at somebody. That's a sailor, all right. Sailor smell.
Sounds like you're happy with it. How much do you want?
Could you give me 2 vials, please?
Hmm. You see, he intensely rubs his beard for a moment. I can do, say 30 gold?
Seems completely fine to me, and Garrow holds out his hand to shake.
Hang on. He looks over to one of the ingredients that he has on his table and points towards a small green glass vial and says, "See that there?
Yeah.
That's that there. That's one of those sea fish, something called a bass. You take a fish, you kind of render it down into the most core components. Pretty expensive. I've got enough there to make you a big vial, maybe less than a month. If you used to dab a bit every day. And the problem is, that's the last of my supply. If I use this to make your order, I won't have any more left for anybody else.
What are you trying to tell me?
No, I'm trying to figure out if it's worth using it on you or waiting for some other schmuck to come along and give me a better deal. The rubbing of the beard continues as he says all of this, and you get the impression that he is simultaneously waiting for you to convince him with either word or coin, or is just trying to figure it out in his own head.
Well, I do have a response to that, but I'm going to pause because I have monopolized things for a few minutes now. I want to give other people a chance to, if they want to interject.
Yeah, I would like. Sir, I would also like to buy some perfume, not for myself, but for somebody I like, and let's say that I would like it's of a slightly higher quality than what my friend here just bought.
Wait, do you like people?
Why, Grigori, I never knew you felt that way. I'm touched, of course, but you're not my type.
Seedy is barely holding back his laughter.
You don't have to worry about that, you big man thing. You wizard.
What should I roll? What should I roll to see if I hold back my laughter?
You big man.
Just bear in mind, as soon as big man and exits Grigori's lips, you just hear the old man with the old man Jerry just mutter under his breath, "Gay."
Okay, really, seriously though, what should I roll to see if I hold back my laughter now?
Well, you can roll to see if
That
you're
would be
gonna
a
hold
wisdom
my
saving
knife in your
throw.
mouth.
Well, I use wisdom saving throws as a means, but as a stand-in for resisting your instincts.
Okay, 16. I don't get a knife in my mouth.
Garo genuinely believes you're flirting with him now.
I am not. This is for somebody that's actually special.
And
All right.
crushes his heart.
Okay.
He deflates a little.
Look, I would like something slightly more expensive. Way more expensive. Something that an actual lady would like smelling like.
Don't worry, Gary. He's just playing hard to get.
The old man looks at you, Gareth, for a moment and says, "You hold on right there. Your friend here, I might just accept what you're trying to." Well,
I pull him a bit closer and give him a very serious look now. That if this what's the word for it? If this is to her tastes, you can expect to have a few more orders, or what is the word? Word? Is it orders?
You're looking for a subscription?
No, if this is to her taste, well,
repeat business.
Repeat business.
Yes.
Right. Okay. What's the occasion?
It's a present.
All right. What you like?
Let's say something flowery but foresty. I don't know.
Flowery but foresty.
Elves have weird tastes. What can I say?
You can say that again.
You shut up.
Say that again.
You both shut up.
I just look at the shopkeeper and just say under my breath, I swear, as long as I live, I'll never understand these elven women.
He just looks at you he just looks at you, Gara, and for a split second you get a distinct sense of agreement coming from the man. But in either case, he looks to you, Grigori, and says, I got something I think you might appreciate, if that's what you're looking for. And he walks over to a cupboard of sorts, glass cabinet, and pulls out a vial. It says, "This here is an order that I mixed up about a month ago for a customer that never actually turned up for their order. Prepaid too. Gotta love them tourists. Anyway, I had to, after I made this one, asked a friend to come up with a name. And it ended up being something real pretentious, so I forgot it. But here, give it a sniff."
I take it from
He uncorks the glass stopper and just whiffs it underneath your nose. And as he does so, you are immediately whisked away in your mind's eye, much as the same way you were when you gave a sniff of the one that he's prepared for Gara, and says to you, as you're whisked away, you will immediately find yourself thinking of a natural forest in the springtime, surrounded by a recent downpouring of rain that has melted the snow in order to reveal a small but noteworthy patch of bluebells and snowdrops in front of you. The smell is subtle and yet has that distinct aspect of petrichor to it.
How much?
Well, this one's kind of already been paid for, so let's say 35. And if you say yes to 35, I'll make your friends do. How about that?
35
Deal?
years.
You gonna shake on it?
Oh yeah. I gave him a shake.
He shakes
Him
the
or his
hand.
hand?
Oh, I shake the hand. Yes.
He shakes your hand in turn and gives it a firm grip in the process.
I want to do a grip back.
Well, alrighty then. Roll me an athletics check.
Your hand is
Oh,
limp.
no.
You're barely grasping it.
I'm gonna.
Goddamn elves, limp-wristed, aren't they?
Feeble elf.
I'm gonna use my inspiration for this.
Good man.
Okay, roll another athletics check.
You fucking.
All right. So, with you initially rolling a 2, you feel as though his grip is an unexpected handshake, almost as if it's a surprise demonstration of masculinity in your direction, to which you immediately respond by using your lithe elven muscles and a great degree of will to immediately squeeze his hand back as hard as you possibly can, and find yourself overpowering him as he rolled a natural 8. And well, with that, he nods in your direction and then just simply, with his other hand, gestures towards the vial and says, 35 gold, please. Just leave
Yeah.
it there. Big man, your friend's just cut you a deal. 20 gold, please, and I'll make you this. With the last of my supply.
Sounds like a deal. And I hold out my hand to shake.
He shakes your hand, and do you want to roll athletics?
Sure. But before I do, I'm just going to make it clear. I'm not trying to hold his hand stronger than he is. Because that's the proper way to do it. You match them.
And with you rolling a total of 17 and him rolling a natural 16 plus his bonuses, you do inadvertently manage to match his handshake with a surprising degree. And he nods in your direction and says to the whole party as a whole, gonna need a couple of minutes to get this sorted.
What was your name
What's
again? Jerry how?
Jerry Edwards.
Is that your clan?
You got a problem with that funny face?
No, I just want to know that if it's not just the name of your store.
Uh-huh.
Ginger, how do you write that?
Give me a moment. I shall type it in for you. I'll put this into the Roll20.
Sure. Oh,
Ah.
okay.
Garrow has written it out for me. Well, Ez has. But yeah, when you asked him that, he just kind of stared at you and just continued staring at you as if to say, "Go on, finish your thought."
That was it. I just wanted to know the name of the man who made that perfume.
Well, all right then.
Elves are not that complicated. It's this big guy over here that makes everything look so stupid.
He just
come, my dear. No need to be rude about it.
Shut up.
He just you see as Jerry grunts to all of this little conversation and goes back over to his table and continues mixing up various bits and pieces. You see as he does this, he stops after a couple seconds, assuming you are all still in the shop. Do you leave when he goes back to his work?
Oh wait, I've got
He's
nothing else to do.
He did tell the party to come back in a half hour once he's finished.
Oh, I
mixing
thought he
up
said a few minutes.
Yeah, he said a few minutes, but well, you get the impression it's probably going to be a bit longer than that.
Anybody else that needs to do something that we can skip to?
I think get to the ferry. I don't know.
Yeah. For now,
Top item.
Garrow, go ahead and add into your inventory a just perfume of the ocean.
I shall put cologne of the ocean.
Mm.
And I look meaningfully at Bruce and say, I just want you to be clear, you're not supposed to drink this. Before I put it out of his sight.
No chance. It'll taste horrible. They always taste horrible.
Because you're not supposed to drink
Too
them.
right, my friend. Too right.
So, with
So,
all that come to a close.
Shall we go and see if we can chart ourselves a ferry?
What's mine called, or does it not have a name or anything? Oh yeah, it was something
He
pretentious
said
that he forgot.
Yeah, he said it was something pretentious that he forgot, so feel free to give it your own name.
Is that about right?
That's beautiful. Oh man.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
Oh man, Captain Haddock is great. Such a shame that did you guys ever see that on TV?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not the same as the Dutch version. You're missing out.
So, as you all make your way over to the ferry, you see that there is a relatively small boat. It looks almost like the kind of narrow boat you'd expect to see on an old English canal, except it's scaled up somewhat. And in either case, as you make your way over towards it, you see an old man who is apparently the sole runner of this thing. And well, if you want, we can just go ahead and say that you charter the boat, and over the course of the next few days, you make your way over to Medalburn for the total price of all the passengers of 9 gold pieces.
99999.
Oh, is it 9 or 9 times 6?
9 for all of you.
Okay.
10 if you want meals included.
A nice, easy
Then-
number to divide.
So, assuming you all do so,
Yeah.
you find yourself passing up along the river, going against the direction of flow, and ultimately the entire journey is one that is honestly remarkably pleasant, so long as you don't find yourself becoming seasick, of course, which I'm sure none of you do. But
Well, it's not the
once
sea,
you
so we should be fine.
It's still a
once
river.
you eventually arrive at Medalburn, however, you find that the river actually runs into the city proper. As the river comes up towards the city, you can see from a relative distance the sheer scale of the place. Medalburn is a city that makes Verdenfeld look like a small village. No, that is not what Medalburn looks like.
No, I meant that, but like absolutely giant, as in the river just coming through the city and stuff.
No, give me a moment. I'll see if I can find a good reference image.
It's a
pretty
nice
sure I
town,
have
that one, by the
saved
way.
somewhere.
Highly recommend it if you go to the Netherlands.
Give me just a moment. I probably should have had this prepared beforehand, but oh well. Pretty sure I have Medalburn. Ah, there we are. This will do. This. Or apparently not. God damn it. There we go. This is the image of Medalburn. It is a truly vast city with by far the greatest population of all of the capitals throughout the civilized lands, and probably throughout the uncivilized lands too.
A walled city.
It is indeed a walled city, with a river that runs in to the city from the north before splitting into two. One of the southern exits for which you would see in that image. Your party would be making their way up along the river and actually making their way into the interior. to give you an idea as to the scale of this place, think medieval Paris. I'll see if I can find an appropriate image.
Garrow, sorry, as I see what you did there.
Oh, it equals the same for everyone. I just have to pay one more than you guys.
Yeah.
What? No.
Uh,
We're with
No.
six people.
something like
We're with
something
six
like this,
people.
but without the train.
We're with 6 people, and it costs a total of 10 gold. Yeah, you. If you guys just
look, Grigori, look. I understand you from the Elven land. You're well lived, but I am a wizard. I think I know numbers. Trust me on this.
I'm not complaining. You can have the 2 gold, whatever. Heads I win, tails you lose.
Hang on. There's an old image that I saw once that perfectly encapsulated the look of Metalburn, but I've since lost track of it. You know what? Now's as good time as any. Let's call a break.
All right.
Fair enough.
Perfect.
In the meantime, I shall search
really
for the
needed
image
to
I'm
go
looking
to the toilet.
Well, there's a break. There's a good time to do some shilling. There's this pink wizard guy that's very popular on YouTube and with the ladies apparently. His name is Uzulu, I believe. You guys should watch his
Yeah, now I
streams.
know you're just making things out.
Of course, I'm pulling everything out of my ass. And there's also this this guy with a star-shaped profile picture. He does a lot of rants with this this old man, this very geriatric guy, mostly huffing and puffing in the mic.
Oh, the perfume guy.
No, but he's
Not anymore, I won't.
But that takes away like half of the listening experience. Shitty mics
Yeah.
build character.
No, they did. Well, hopefully, it's a lot better now. Even the headset should be better, actually.
I mean, I say shitty mics. It's that amount of quality. That's just you could make it better, sure, but it loses character. It's like an ugly dog.
There is no. There are ugly dogs. Pugs are ugly. They're abortions and shouldn't be.
Those are sad little mistakes.
Yes.
I found the image.
Of the pack.
I recommend you open this up in a browser in order to get a good look at the full resolution.
Oh, I plan to do that. Ooh. Ooh la la. That, but very big.
Yes, this only picture the buildings being about half the size and twice as many of them.
That's pretty neat.
Honestly, I thought it would be a bit bigger.
That is very much like medieval Paris.
How would I go convincing the farms to give me money for my spells?
Well, how about you ask them?
Yeah, that's the first step, isn't it?
And that's kind of unironically how the image, the city that I gave you about that little river and the gate thing. It's kind of also how that city looks.
Now what
Just
we
know
need
what?
is some longboats.
Long boats or long bows?
Long boats. I mean, long bows as well, but plenty of long boats. A fair few, swarthy Norwegian-looking chaps, and then we'll just go rock up there and ask them for money to go away. Or
What, for them to go away or us?
Yeah,
Are you proposing that your party does an impression of a bunch of gypsies?
I was thinking more Viking, but yes.
I will do no such things.
Hmm.
I shall not
Fine.
lower. I'm already lowering myself to the point of commuting with humans. Let's not make it gypsies.
It's true. It would be quite unladylike of you.
Shut up.
Right, we're having a break. I need downstairs. Might.
Speaking of, I shall be back in a bit.
Same. I'm gonna get a snack.
Hmm.
I'm back.
So you are.
Yeah, and I see that you're here as well. In view of it sort of being quote-unquote Paris looking, I got myself some Napoleon candy. Do you guys have that in the
Nip-
port in the goose country?
Napoleon candy?
Napoleon, you know,
Nope.
the Corsican shorty.
What? I thought you meant Napoleon Dynamite. But no, I don't actually know the candy either.
Napoleon Dynamite. Who the fuck is that faggot?
Oh god, I even
So
know them.
uncultured. So
Yes.
uncultured.
It's basically candy. It's hard candy that and and there's some sour bits in the middle. That's in different flavors. And the one that I have is salmiakki.
The one that you have is so yucky. Why are
No.
you eating it?
Salmiakki. You don't have that in the UK?
Nope.
Yes, you do.
That is.
Is it?
I think you may be speaking Japanese when you say that flavor.
No, it's Finnish. Salty licorice. Do you know that?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, we do have salted licorice flavors, but generally speaking, they're not too popular.
Ingredients.
That's because it's bad. The
Salt.
ones you have in Britain is not the kind of salt licorice you have in Finland or Sweden.
Yeah, the salmiak salt. That's the thing. Oh man, that shit is so good.
If it's Finnish licorice, I might know what you're talking about, but I'm not entirely sure.
Well, we have our own licorice here.
Ah, okay.
If you join my stream, I can show it, but
Sure.
it comes. It also comes in powder form. But yeah, it's pretty interesting.
What? Not
The premium hard sweet that you can get in the UK is something called a Fox's Glacier fruit.
They do mints as well. In fact, isn't Fox's Glacier Fruit just a rip-off of their mints that's worse?
I personally think that the fruits are tastier than the mints, but that's mostly because I'm just not a massive fan of the mint.
Those rolled up licorice ones are fucking good though.
These ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are great, but my favorite ones, the English licorice is what we call it. The pink.
No, nobody likes these things.
I like the brown ones and the round ones as well, and they're all really tasty. But of the English ones, I mean, that's what we call this. We call this English licorice.
Would you call it the nasty one?
I feel
I
so
highly
fucking
recommend-
left out.
I highly recommend anybody visiting Britain to pick up a bag of Fox's Glacier fruits. They are exceptionally good.
I feel
Or
so.
Fox's Glacier mints, if you're looking for a more minty flavor.
This one is pretty nice. Basically just honey licorice.
I feel so fucking left out right now.
Or
Do you not have sweets over there?
We don't have the variety you do. Most of the shit we have is chocolate.
And you're saying that's a bad
Wow.
thing? These
Chocolate
ones
can
are
be
also
nice.
They look like little pyramids. They are pyramids. But the fun part about these is you think they're gonna be really hard and stuff, and then you bite into them. It's like the softest thing ever.
Sounds like some kind of scheme to me.
It's a pyramid scheme.
Huh.
What the fuck was that?
But just like Sweden's best sold car is not a Volvo but Candy.
Yes.
Cadillacs. Cadillacs are also pretty popular in the Netherlands.
Oh wow. But Ferraris though, they're also awesome.
He's downstairs,
Yes.
so you can't tell, but he's expressing heavy amounts of disgust. In fact, hang on.
Right, okay. Good car, along the lines of Ferrari, Aston Martin. You can't beat it.
But can you eat an Aston Martin?
Can you eat a Ferrari?
Yes.
You can eat Cadillacs and Ferraris.
Where are the Cadillacs? I never seen a Cadillac for sale.
You should see his face right now. It's amazing.
Hold on. He has no idea what we're talking about.
No, I'm making coffees.
We're talking about licorice.
Liquid
I'd like
short
everybody
sorts,
to watch
assets,
this
liquid
video.
short sorts. Best. Job done. Either that or actual licorice.
I've got some licorice root on the boat. I just keep it there.
Nice.
Kiki, I'd like to hear your opinion of the video I just posted into Yesrallaw Odyssey.
Oh wow, that's painful.
It is definitely a video.
Those don't even look like Ferraris, Marsh. They look like nondescript race cars.
No, shh, they're Ferraris.
At least the ones that I show you actually look like Cadillacs.
The closest I have to these things are the Tutti Frutti. Fucking, let me see if I can get the photo.
Tutti Frutti's okay. Do these guys know about Tutti Frutti TV show?
Oh yeah, he told us.
I was telling about it, yes.
He told us.
This is the fucking thing we have.
Oh, Red Band. Red Band is good. What are you complaining about, Chase? You got Red Band. Everything is good in the world.
Yeah, but it's such a fucking pitiful amount.
You want to see how much red band I can buy?
Don't make me jealous.
Just look at the stream while I scroll down the
I'm
list
watching this.
of all the red band.
I hate you so much.
Let me see if I can find your Tutti Fruities. No, I don't have Tutti Fruities.
What is it? Oh, yes, please. Which you mean nothing? Nothing at all?
So Kiki, what's Puck up to right now?
I think he's just gone back outside. He meowed at the front door for a bit. Popped in. Oh, he's dodging a rain of... Oh, if you poured all the popcorn on his head. I think that answers that question.
Hmm.
Yo. No, so you know, I need to go silent in a few minutes.
Ah, okay.
Hmm? Oh, yeah, we're going to be like a minute and a half. We have to do some very serious things like popcorn.
Okay.
Oh, he says he can hear you, but he's downstairs.
Oh, good. So he can hear us, but he can't respond.
That is what he told me to tell you, quite foolishly, yes.
Hmm. Well, what do we say to a man who can't fight back?
Oh, I can
Loser.
fight back.
Oh, thank
Loser,
you.
loser.
What is that video you linked, Ginge? It's nonsense.
It's a bunch of chinks getting knocked over by a snowboarder.
Have you seen the chicken one?
No.
The chicken one.
I'll find you the chicken one.
There's a video of a chicken getting knocked over by a snowboarder.
Hang on, I'm waiting for my browser to load. Right, here you go.
I'm
This is
gonna
going to be
send-
dramatically cursed, isn't it?
I'll be sending that to my girlfriend.
Thank you.
I had to suffer this, and so will my girlfriend now. Doggo. Doggo.
What is the point in having an overarching authoritarian hellhole of a government like the Chinese do if they're just going to allow shit like that to happen?
Well, give them the benefit of the doubt. They may be Taiwanese.
I mean, it's the chicken song. With real chicken noises.
no.
That is not the chicken song.
This is just getting more and more cursed. Oh no!
This is the chicken song.
Ah, yes, that's it. Yep. Chicken attack.
No. No.
I know
This
it's
is-
not that song. But it's the same guy who sings it.
Yes, it's still
Okay.
Takeo Ishii.
Okay, this is an old one,
No.
right?
This is the chicken song.
I mean, it's called the chicken song.
I mean, I was gonna say if we're gonna go with weird things, this is an
Ah!
old one. This is the only quality it's available in. Because this is the only version of it that still exists properly. This is Yatta.
Oh no! Yeah, what you need is the spitting image.
That's what I just
chicken song.
posted.
Is it?
But,
Awesome. Yes, excellent,
But
perfect.
It didn't have the. It's not the music video one. Let's see if we can find that.
Oh, see if you can. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I really like the House of Commons, the Commons of House song. From Spitting Image.
Well,
I am
this
back,
is
by the way.
so cursed that I'm going to curse it even more with this. Be angry.
I figure a lot of problems
we
could be
go.
solved with everyone having guns.
No worry, be happy. Yeah. Go get a gun. Oh, Reddit. Reddit moments.
Brilliant, as brilliant. I haven't seen that in forever.
That was when it was top of the charts in this country.
That's right.
They actually have people in the crowd waving rubber chickens.
Yep. Better times. Chicken.
I
I've
just
never heard
imagine
of
you were
this.
in that crowd, Trig.
I used to know every single one of the words. In fact, I still do. It's all coming back.
With the chicken. He's drumming with the chickens. Hey, you got Thatcher singing as well. Nice.
Unbelievable.
Ah, yes. Disembowel yourself with spears. What a song lyric.
Ben behead an Eskimo.
What the non-English people here and the millennials have to understand, this was peak music in this country
Yeah.
about 30 years ago.
Wait, do you mean it changed?
This
40
was
years ago, actually.
literally top of the pops, #1. Brilliant.
Quite wild as well, if I remember right.
Oh, it's freaking hilarious. Are you kidding?
What the fuck am I listening to?
British culture.
Yeah.
It's content like this that allows us to basically control the world.
Or is this the content that caused you to lose everything that you got?
No,
so
no,
you're
this is
claiming
the
No.
content that comes out of a country that produced the British Empire.
This
You
is-
may notice that Germany has never produced anything like this.
Oh
This is-
yeah.
This is no, actually,
Oh.
the Germany have produced some really, really, really freaky shit.
That's a challenge. That's a challenge, and Bill is not here to accept it. But let's just say the Fichtel
There's
was
something-
the same.
There's something that you need to be informed about. The last stars will die out 120 trillion years from now, followed by 10 to the power of 106 years of just black holes. Condensed, that's like the universe starting off with 1 second of stars and then a billion years of just black holes.
Mm-hmm.
Stars are basically the immediate after effects of the Big Bang. A 1 second sizzle of brightness before settling into eternal darkness. We live in that one bright second. And you lot choose to fill that one bright second by posting videos like this.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, you're now
we
talking
have to
longer
have
than the
something
video.
like-
And also, to be fair, we'll be dead long before there's any sort of darkness coming over the universe.
Yeah,
so...
you also have to remember that we're just repeating the fact that somebody has spent part of that minute second making a video like this.
Oh no, they spent way more than just a minute second.
They, in fact, spent money and many other people's time.
I believe there's only one correct response to this. YOLO.
Yoro!
Yoro?
Anyway, are we all back? Are we?
I think
are
we're
we
back.
ready
I'm
to-
back.
I'm back, he's back, she's back, and everybody else is back.
I might be back.
Do you have your popcorn yet?
I've got some popcorn.
My girlfriend's to the chicken song says this is so bad.
I mean, she's right.
You're just jealous.
Jealous of what? The chicken song.
Yes.
Mhm.
The thing I'm most confused about is the fact that chickens have been the basis for so many songs.
Yeah.
It's because no one likes turkeys.
Yeah, a turkey cannot do it the chicken dance.
They can only gobble gobble.
Gobble gobbledygook.
Is Puck actually getting involved this time, or are you still playing with the cat toy at him?
It's a bit of a case of me playing with the cat toy at him. He is sort of, however, waving his arms around a little bit when he gets near. Oh, he actually caught it that time. And then he yawned.
He caught it, then he yawned. What a power move. He's telling you you're too boring. You need to spice it up a bit, you know.
Yeah, bring in some lasers.
Hang on, we can bring in the lasers. You know what? I think you're right.
There we go. That sounds more like the cat playing with something. The classic sound of a herd of elephants tap dancing on the roof.
Oh, now he's taken to just walking, ambling over to it slowly. Oh no. Get it the right distance in front of him, otherwise he stops. Laser at about a foot in front of the cat. Accelerate too far, he just sort of gets bored. Maybe I could mount it on his head.
We need more puck picks.
Some kind of headband. Maybe put some human ears on it. Oh my god, Trig, we should make and sell that.
What?
Hmm.
Head-mounted laser.
Headbands for cats with human ears on them.
That is awful.
Oh no. I found an image of it.
Is it the GIF?
No, it's a cat with a human earband.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Right, there's a picture in Yesrallaw Odyssey Trig. We need to take that and use it to make a Kickstarter and explain how difficult it is to get anatomically correct human ears for cats.
Oh, here's
Yes,
a bigger
we
version
need
of it.
£1 million worth of research. Get it right.
There's a bigger
You're going to
variant.
start a cat prosthetics firm.
Yeah. In case you need a prosthetic cat.
Is this for cats that identify as humans?
No, this is just for if you need a prosthetic cat. It's separate from the cat ear headband.
Mm-hmm.
You'd best be careful. It's noted that whenever birds are caught and tagged by attaching rings to their legs, the rings cause the birds to be seen as a more desirable mate.
Oh, really?
There you go. There you go. Have a puck pick.
But oh
He's
my
so round.
god!
Oh my god! Send them the laundry basket.
So how long before he starts rolling to his destination?
Oh no! He is actually quite the slim and athletic cat. He just is a lot of fluff. You want the
Don't let the cute outside misguide you.
Yeah, send them the one with packing the laundry basket.
Fine.
It's really good.
No, look at him.
Aw. Aw, look at his little teary eyes.
Little. He's 10 pounds. He weighs 10 pounds. That's like 5 kilos.
Yeah, that is a large laundry basket. There's about 2 full washing machine loads in there.
Look, without a proper skill, it's just, oh, look at the tiny cat. And then you realize, oh no, that's a huge chunker right there.
Yeah, but the big ones are the cutest.
I'm pretty sure there's the second largest breed of cat.
It's about the 3rd or 4th, but yeah, they are. They get big. They get very, very big. He's only 9 months old, maybe 10 months old. He's still got about 8 months of growing to do.
Do you still call him the little fuck when he does something wrong?
Never called him that. It was always the little puck. Or you little puck.
Yeah.
Why, you little puck?
I've called him
Like
many
a
names
little-
when he's doing bad things. Usually sounds like Homer chasing after Bart, though.
I mean, you do joke occasionally that his middle names are Oi and Stop.
Yeah.
Oi, you.
And down.
And has he yet mastered the art of rolling over and exposing his belly in an attempt to curry favor?
Oh.
And then immediately
ever?
try to scratch you when you try to reach for the belly.
Okay, here. This is how he's. This is his fairly standard pose at the top of the stairs.
Oh my god.
And what happens when you go to rub his belly?
You'll get a fluffy tummy for a little while. If you happen to try and squish him with your foot, in a gentle and playful manner, however, that is it. Your foot is dead.
Oh no!
That's a big cat.
It's good that the cat is definitely not into foot stuff.
No,
does
he's
he scratch when you try to reach for the belly?
Oh yeah, yeah. With your foot, definitely. With your hand, occasionally. He's pretty good on the whole,
Yeah,
and he's always playful. If you say "ow" and you look like he's actually hurt you, he'll then just sort of hold on to it and lick you, which is not really much better.
Oh my god.
Literally
He
the
knows
rogue
not to
cleric
censor it.
meme.
Yeah, my girlfriend had to watch for a cat, and let's just say that cat is the biggest bitch out there. Just scratching at everything and just on a whim decides, you know what, you're currently petting me right now and it's really nice, but now I'm gonna switch to biting you and scratching the exact same hand that just petted me mere seconds ago.
Mm-hmm. That's a cat.
That's a cat.
I'm
So
gonna
did
say,
your
welcome to
did your
cat.
girlfriend enjoy eating the cat?
No, but I was threatening it a few times that I would throw it out of the window.
What?
Usually after it scratched me a few more times after my next attempt of petting it.
Can't. I mean, well, it's a quite a cruel way of tenderizing the meat, but
Why? They always land on their feet. It's only it's only from the fourth floor, so I'm giving it a fighting chance.
You don't throw cats out of windows. You throw them at beanbags.
He throws himself at beanbags. Once they learn it's nice and soft and land and squishy, you just point laser at it.
oh my god.
Just remember, Theo, if you ever decide that you do want to throw that cat out the window, make sure to get a bit of a momentum going by swinging it by the tail first.
Don't worry, the cat's already gone. Thankfully, the cat is gone.
What did you do to it?
The owner came and picked it up.
Yeah, but what did you do to it first? Like, was it still in one piece?
Oh, well, we ate some sweet and sour cat.
Hmm.
Don't be fooled by its cuteness in this picture.
Oh,
That thing cut my hand pretty badly.
I mean, are you sure it wasn't playful? I mean, Puck does the same thing if you don't use the safety stick when you play curtain game.
yeah.
No, that was definitely a getaway.
Sounds like that's a you problem.
It sounds like a problem that Theo originally had, but he rapidly made it the cat's problem.
It is a very pretty cat, though.
Yeah, I would argue the solution is to be better at cats.
Alright, I
You
have to
just
switch
missed
to
the game
silent
because-
mode.
Nah, right.
That cat is cross-eyed. Anyway, should we? Are we continuing the playing, or are we just talking about cats?
Yes.
Honestly, I'm happy to do either. But yeah. Give me just a moment to gather my thoughts.
Cool.
Where did you leave them?
I don't know, that's the problem.
Did the dogs eat them?
Possibly.
Damn, that's pretty rough.
I know, dogs that eat thoughts are actually pretty scary.
I was about to say I should introduce that as an enemy in this game, but they already exist. Intellect devourers are fun.
Was not the first egg that became magically fertile on the Earth called thoughts?
What?
Yes, it was. Sorry, Kiki's been watching episodes of Monkey,
Fair
aka
enough.
Journey to the West. It is an amazing TV show.
Oh, that's the old Japanese one, right?
Yeah, that's the one. I have the entire DVD box set.
Christ.
Old favorite. Absolutely amazing show.
Anyway, before we get any more derailed,
Mm-hmm.
is everybody here?
I believe so.
Chase, Ez?
I'm here.
I never left.
I was going to say, don't chase
Amazing.
us.
Oh.
So, as the five of you, there is five of you, right? Or is there six?
There's 6 of us.
Legend tells of a sick.
As the six of you begin to make your way into Meadowburn, being brought in via one of the ferries that is regularly chartered to bring particularly wealthy individuals to and from. Poorer folk have to use the roads, you see. The party eventually finds their boat coming to a stop at a small harbour. As you look around, you see the city sprawls out in every conceivable direction. Left, right, up and down. There is a considerable din, unlike that of Verdenfeld, where you expected to see hear a variety of languages, whether it be Common or Dragonborn or some of the more popular individuals, the tieflings that were selling their wares. Here in Meadowburn, you seem to hear only common being spoken, with almost no other languages to be heard of. You get the impression that in this city, there is a degree of enforcement of of a standardized language for the purposes of effective communications. But as you disembark from the boat, the ferrymaster bids you all a good day and recommends that if you need somewhere to sleep, that you make your way away from the water until you can no longer hear the docks.
Sound advice. I thank him for that advice.
He assures you that it was on the house before proceeding to disappear underneath the covering of his ship and seemingly going and doing his own thing for a bit. You don't have any issues making your way up onto the pier, and Gunnar, you would note that in what is quite unusual, at least from the perspective of a dwarf, it appears as though that your party were able to gain access to the city with virtually no issue whatsoever. You remember that Varpak, in comparison, has a strict monitoring system whereby any people entering or exiting the city are immediately tracked and are made sure to be recorded as to when they come into the city in order to have a strict monitoring of population numbers. And if anybody happens to cause trouble, they can be quickly and effectively tracked down. It's a very regimented system over there, but Meadowburn, by comparison, seems almost chaotic in nature.
You're saying they have a track and trace system?
Effectively, yes.
Dear God.
Except it doesn't work on medical grounds. The dwarves just assume that anybody entering their city is potentially up to no good.
Quite a dreary state of affairs, that.
But Meadowburn, by comparison, is, as I said, far more chaotic and very fast-paced, you notice. As you make your way up from the local pier and make your way over to a nearby road, you see a rows upon rows of buildings and structures which appear to be mostly industrial infrastructure for the purposes of aiding the dockyards. And another interesting aspect to all of this is that as you look around, you see a wide variety of ships. There's small ferry boats, which you get the impression are intended for ferrying people to and from Lavendale, like the one that you took, with a more pleasure, with a more pleasure-intended focus. You also see large sailing ships, the likes of which you would expect to see going along the open oceans. A surprising sight given the distance from the sea, as well as a variety of other vessels. But as you look around, there is one interesting feature within the city that it catches everyone by surprise when they notice it, especially Garrow, who has been here before and would note that this particular thing is not there in his memories. That being a large, almost plate on a spinning plate on a stick-looking structure that is located some distance away, and appears to have a series of, well, what can best be described as flying ships docked at it and moving to and from.
Ah, it's a
But,
skyport of sorts.
in fact, Gunnar would actually recognize such a structure as being, as Marsh just said, a skyport, as these are inventions of recent creation by the dwarves in order to allow them to make proper use of the Firestone engineering-driven skyships.
How much does one cost, do you think?
A lot more than we have right now, that's for sure.
Dwarves in.
Theo, I would say roll me a check of your choice to see if you can know about this. This is something that you wouldn't know about directly. This is something that you likely would have learned about through second-hand knowledge, if any, if at all.
So probably history, maybe.
But whilst that is being done, a 16 in history would lead you to know that the dwarves have been working on a wide variety of innovations, the majority of which are actually created in Varpak, but this is the first you've seen of flying vessels. To your knowledge, flight has traditionally been a factor of great and powerful beasts, except apart from the small birds, of course. The flying machines, though, this is most definitely a first for Grigori. So,
I'm going to point at that and go, "Oh, is that where they feed the dragons?"
Yeah, Garo shrugs at this and says, "It's just levitation with extra steps."
This is not mere. This is no such mere magical properties to this. This is science, good friends.
Perhaps,
Technological
but
innovations
I
of our
could do the
lifetime.
same.
It looks like a big bird table. I'm assuming it's for dragons.
If we get the
That is
chance to fly
actually-
on one,
That is actually a very good description. It looks like it does look like a circular bird table, only scaled up hundreds of times bigger. Interestingly
What
enough,
would I-
you note that the design on the outside seems to have some kind of almost artsy looking spiraling pattern going along the slowly tapering point, the central shaft of it. All right, well noted there, Theo. By the way, if any of you have any questions regarding the layout of the city or anything to that effect, I fully encourage you to ask questions. I don't really know where to begin with this, so answering questions is a damn good way to get started on the description of Metalburn.
Fair enough. Well, I am actually going to ask a question along those lines, which is really sort of basically, I'm going to sort of. Are we still on the ferry at this point? Or have we actually got off?
No, you. At this point, you have managed to disembark from the ferry and and are effectively just kind of standing there on one of the on the pavement next to one of the major roads that runs by the docks. You're just barely standing out of the way of what effectively amounts to a great deal of both foot and carriage-based traffic traveling to and from various ships and warehouses.
Crikey! Well, I wonder if there's anywhere around here that sells maps and any sightseeing or tour guides or anything like that. We could.
I know you're playing.
You have a local expert
cutting
with you,
out,
my friend.
Oh, sorry. I was too far away from the microphone. I was just wondering if there was somebody that might sell us a map or whether there were tour guides that could show us the sights of the city. Garo,
Oh, my
you
friend,
know
you're
this
in
place.
luck. You're wizard tour guide. I know my way quite well around this place. Granted, the bird table wasn't here last time, but I mean, how much can a city change in a few years?
They put in a bird table, or a dragon table, or whatever it is. Are there actually things going to and from it, as we can see, as well?
There is. You can see that there appears to be probably 3 such vessels actually docked at the thing right now. And you can see another 2 that appear to be entirely airborne. In fact, roll me a perception check to anybody who's interested.
Need roll a perception check.
I see everything.
Seems so.
My God, I actually scored more than 10 on a perception check.
God damn.
You're supposed to be good at perception, Trig.
I know, but I never am. I don't know if you've noticed this, I'm always like sort of, 2 out of, with a +2, with a +4 rather.
Well, in either case, you notice that of the 5 airships that you're able to see, it appears as though all but one of them seem to have a very similar design, with each of the flying vessels looking almost like a large bulbous-like entity with various bits of machinery almost haphazardly bolted onto it, with a great jets of what almost look like flame occasionally blasting into these large bulbous entities, and presumably having some effect of sorts. The most noteworthy thing here, though, is the fact that the one airship which doesn't have a similar design is instead possesses a design that looks almost like a traditional seafaring ship, with a series of masts and other such structures to it, and a very traditional looking design, and seemingly just floating there for no particular reason. You see no great jets of orange blazing fire erupting from its surface, or various other bits and pieces on it, unlike the other ones. You
Well,
get the
they don't
impression
look
there's
like
probably a degree of magic here.
they don't look
Well,
like
it's
dragons to me, but we can try and slay them if you like.
I know.
Do all dragons need slaying?
Seedy, these airships are currently a fair distance away. They, I would say, if you had to guess, they're somewhere close to the better half of a mile off at this point, with the with this skyport, as you can quite easily come to the conclusion, being a great distance away. I've just been reminded by Yiz that I've been invited to join her on her stream tonight. So we're going to be... No. I haven't double booked. Usually our D&D games end before her DD stream begins, but nah, she hasn't been running them recently, so I've forgotten about it. We've got another 20 minutes or so to get some stuff done. So whilst the party makes their way around in the stairs aimlessly at the airships, I assume...
Are there any guards or anybody else like that we could ask about? I mean, I'm assuming that that Gunnar is going to want to find a blacksmith of note, or a clockmaker, or some sort of workshop.
I did want to find the local craftsman. I don't
I
know if they have
want.
a guild or something along those lines around here.
Well, there are indeed such guilds and craft shops that you can find in the area. But you mentioned trying to find a guard. You do, in fact, happen to see a man who is standing by and just simply keeping an eagle-eyed vision of the area, and you get the distinct impression that this is an individual who is being actively paid by the docks in the area to keep an eye on things and suppress any troublemaking.
Perfect.
The man stands with a large, almost resplendently decorated halberd in what is not particularly lavish-looking armor, but a decent set of plate mail. Get the impression that this man will be quite a formidable foe, especially in a one-on-one.
Excellent. I'm going to go and ask him where the best and worst pub is in town. And,
Go to the worst, yes?
Precisely.
Actually, I wanted to ask Grigori something. I wanted to see if I could help me set up with the criminal underworld of the city.
Well, you're going to want the worst pub in the town, then.
Yes.
Do you say that in front of everyone?
No, I take him to the side and ask him for that.
I'm also going to ask Garrow if he knows anywhere that my flask with the little demon water thing in it.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Do you know anybody around here that might be able to tell me a bit more about this? Because I feel like I could bottle it and throw it at people, sure, but it seems like I don't know. There's a magical thing about this. Exactly. That might be more to it than just persuasion bombs. I wonder if there's a.
Well, I mean, it's been a bit of time, but the old alchemist district seemed like a good shout. The wizards' school at the wizard tower, of course. We could always visit the general markets and see what we turn up. There's always interesting fellows in the markets.
Did you say alchemist?
I believe I did, yes.
Oh no!
Do they have ingredients for interesting concoctions, per chance?
Well, I think that might be the definition of alchemy, my friend Seedy. Now, I'm a wizard, as you know. I don't really know the particulars of alchemy myself. Again, you'd need to ask the alchemist, but I'm sure for the right price they'd be able to concoct you something interesting.
No need. I just need the ingredients. You see, I'm a bit low on. Well, let's just say interesting.
If you're looking for ingredients, my friend, you'll be better off going wholesale at the market.
No. You see, I'm looking for ingredients for my to make my own potions.
Ah, well, you definitely don't want to talk to the alchemists then. They don't like competition. They would probably give you contaminated ingredients.
All the better.
What is it you're trying to make exactly, Seedy?
Oh, nothing. Just something that will help aid us in combat,
Are you saying this in front of all of us, by the way?
I'm just talking to Garo on him alone.
I know you're having the conversation with him alone, but are you saying it in front of the rest of us?
I can't see why not. I'm not being specific here.
How do the guards look, by the way, around here, Ginge?
Oh, I'm not saying it near any fucking guards. No, thank you.
No, do they look on edge or anything?
Currently, in your immediate vicinity, you only see 2 guards. The closer of which is the one I described earlier, the one with the plate mail and the large, resplendent-looking halberd, which itself looks as though it may be gold-plated.
How?
Generally speaking, this particular individual looks mean.
How predominant is the use of magic in this area? Do I see people like with the odd prestidigitation here and there? There's a mages college here, right?
Yes, you do. There is a small degree of magic being used within this, within the immediate vicinity. You can see that appears as though that small chores like cleaning the sides of boats off and other such things are typically handled by a small amount of magic usage.
I'm not even going to like make a check for it because I know he's up to something. I'm going to cast Zone of Truth on Seedy.
Why specific? Isn't this called metagaming?
Isn't it an AoE?
It is.
It is indeed AoE.
You just fucked off. You just fucked over a lot of tradesmen. I hope you know that.
No, not fucked them over. I just made them tell the truth. Nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
Zone of Truth is only a 15-foot radius sphere, meaning where you are currently standing, the only people apart from your own party that you would be hitting with this would be the passing traffic that is traveling through the nearby road.
Okay.
Of which I must say, everyone who walks through the Zone of Truth looks at you, and pretty much every single one of them either gives you a look of confusion, a look of anger, or just generally speaking responds to your casting of the spell in some way or another. But the thing that catches your eye most, Grace, is the fact that the large looking man, the man with the halberd, the guard, you apparently instantly catch his eye as you cast this spell, and you can see that he is looking directly at you. He hasn't taken any steps towards you, and you would estimate him to be around 30 feet away, but he is staring directly at your group right now. You have very efficiently caught his attention.
Do you have to cause a scene everywhere?
I'm terribly sorry. What was it you needed again, Seedy?
None of your business. That's what I needed.
But it is my business. You reflect on me.
No, I don't. We're literally two people separate.
We're not really separate, you know. We fought life and death together. We're not exactly separate.
For fuck's sake. Look, I just need some ingredients for my poisons. I'm running low. Can I just get them?
And what would you need poisons for? Can you not deal with things up front, some personal?
Well, no, he can't.
I like my poisons. I practically sell those things.
I mean, you can barely get through a fight as this. Give him every advantage you can get.
Oh, shush you. Everybody was knocked out last fight.
Actually, I think only you were.
No, not only me. Grace there as well was.
Grace just knocked down as well.
As a matter of fact, she was knocked out before me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but when it's a paladin, it doesn't count because it's always just a flesh wound.
Indeed. Anyway.
How about the fight with the goblins? I was literally the only one standing. Well, apart from Skrak. But
unless you want to try
Gallo puts his arms over both Grace's and Seedy's shoulders and said, Friends, calm down. Look, anything you can want, you can find in Meadowburn. It is definitely the city of all things.
But unless you want to try and resist it, you do have to tell the truth in this area.
Everybody pay attention to what Theo's typing.
Yes,
you don't.
Yes.
I just replied to him. You don't count. You literally were hiding behind a tree.
Is that in character?
Yes.
What, Seedy? Was that in character? I would like to slap Seedy for insulting a lady's honor.
Roll a 1d4.
I think that'd be a
No,
2d8.
that's not my attack roll.
You're just slapping me. You're not actually attacking me. Well,
Non-lethal, but no. You have done something wrong.
Nice.
As this squabbling continues, you see anybody paying particular attention would notice the steely-eyed gaze of the guard seemingly begins to drift away from you, right up until Garrow just fucking open palm punches Seedy in the face.
It's a backhanded slap.
Well, in either case, you hit him for 9 bludgeoning damage, unless you say otherwise.
Yeah. Yes, I did. and as he's lying on the floor, wondering why the world has turned sideways.
No. I think I'm still standing. I was full head.
Well, as this backhanded slap goes off, you immediately hear in a voice that is far louder than what I'm about to do due to it being very late. The guard shouts in your direction, "Oi! None of that!" And
thank you.
Looks directly at you, Garrow, and just stares at you with a this man has seen some shit, and he is just raring to go.
I pick up Seedy and brush him off and hold him firmly round the shoulder, so he knows that I'm not being camaraderie to him, but I'm making an effort to look that way, and say to God, "Oh, it's nothing to worry about. I was just teaching my good friend here some manners. You see, he insulted this fine lady.
She's not a lady.
For a gentleman. Do you see what I mean? He clearly needs a lot of lessons."
The bloodshot, rage-filled eyes that stare in your direction narrow as he squints in your direction. His stare doesn't break from you, but he doesn't make any further gestures in your direction.
Can we not anger the guards, please? Let's just go find an inn. I kind of want to rest.
There were 2. What the guard actually recommended 2 to me.
Ah, really? Let's go to the
You
worst.
can't keep calling him the guard. Good sir, what's your name?
Yeah,
Jeff the guard. Whatever.
you asked the guard his name.
It's yours on his badge number.
His name is Keith.
Break
You're not
free
sure if
and
he's pretending.
start walking? Sorry.
When you ask him that, Grace, he just his attention turns to you, and he just calls over Augustine.
Oh, good name.
Augustine, where did you get fantastic plate mail like that? I've been looking for a set myself.
Can I just break free of Garo and leave for the smiling bar, the bad bar he was talking about?
You want to go for the bad bar?
Yes.
That's the Bad Star bar.
We go to the bad bar.
Garrow's not going to let you weasel away until this has all been diffused with the guard. So if you're going to try and break away, I think you'll have to do a strength check against mine.
Oh,
for fuck's sake. Roll yours.
Yes. When you ask him that, Kiki, he just looks at you with a degree of suspicion, and then, after a moment's hesitation, says, "Issued by the city."
Interesting. How would I go about getting such a piece? I mean, I'm a paladin of glory myself.
He just stares. Like his rage-filled stare just switches to you for a moment, Seedy, before he responds to Grace saying,
May I put my hand over Seedy's mouth?
Apologies, my friend here is very eager to go and buy some poison.
Not poison! I would want...
Remember, you have to tell the truth.
I'm not looking to buy I'm not looking to buy poison.
You're looking to buy ingredients to make poison. That's right.
Shut up.
We're in the zone of truth.
Is that a truth?
Telling him to shut up is not necessarily means anything. Please
Again,
shut up.
Would I be able to put my hand over Seedy's mouth before he digs a deeper hole?
At this
I'm
point,
digging the deeper hole. Okay.
at
Yes.
this point, the guard walks towards the party in the zone of truth and does so with a very open and obvious degree of intention and, well, basically, he just fucking power walks towards you. And I think that's where we're going to pick up the next session.
Oh no.
For fuck's sake.
Next up, battle session. We just fight the entire city.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking there's something going on. Okay, look, this is meta bullying. All right?
Oh, what?
Yes. Why the fuck
Right,
did she
I
have
to
to
go
put
doing
on?
years on her stream.
Yeah, me too.
Have fun arguing.